Hi there, this is Neil Kilby and
Peter Schmitz.
from Transforming Profits. Today is the first day of the 5 pillars, which is all about trying to make life in business much more enjoyable and much more profitable. So here's one comment I love, which is, what is work can best be defined as stuff that feels like work. And the reverse of that naturally is chances are the stuff that doesn't feel like work is the stuff that delivers the greatest profit and the satisfaction. The idea is just to do that stuff, the stuff that's enjoyable, the stuff that makes the most money, and more likely that you're going to do more and more of it just simply because you enjoy it and it's profitable. So that's the old way of doing it. Make a list of all the stuff, give it to people you don't like, delete it, and therefore it's all gone. Which, if it was that simple, we'd all have done it by now and it'd all be lovely, lovely and easy. So this is how you really do it. So Peter's going to walk you through through this, but these are the 5 pillars. So we have the best payday, the best buyer, the best bait, the best process, and the best focus. So we're going to run through the best payday this Friday because we did it last Friday. And we're now going to go on to what is the best buyer. So Peter, if you could start to run through this, please.
All right. So of the 5 pillars, once you know your best profit, and like Neil said, we'll come back to that one more time, but who's your best buyer? And how do you identify your best buyer so that your business is truly low stress and high profits? And in our world, we're going to speak from the consulting side of the world. There's 3 criteria that we look for. One is they have a successful, ongoing, existing kind of business. They're already doing $1 million or more. They're not a startup. It's really hard to help a startup because of the situation they're in. But so number 1, we're looking for a successful business. Number 2, we look for, do they have forward momentum? And what we mean by that is they're doing things. They've got activities. They've got marketing campaigns, marketing programs that are getting results. Maybe they're not all doing great, but they're doing things to grow their business. So we're looking for business owners that have forward momentum. And the number 3 thing is they have deployable assets, meaning they have some marketing materials, marketing tools. They might have a funnel. They might have online brochures. They might have some videos. They have marketing assets that we can work with and that we can execute things with. We don't have to start from scratch. So this is the best buyer. And so the mindset we're looking for is this. And this is where we do our discovery call with the owner of the company. We find these things out through a series of questions, but do they have an abundance mentality? And what we mean by that is, do they think there's plenty of business out there for all businesses? They're in a competitive space. Some business owners are afraid. They're afraid to try things new. They're afraid to share some of their best stuff because they don't want somebody to take it and steal it. But we want to deal with business owners that have an abundance mentality, meaning there's plenty of business for everybody if you do a good job and you take care of your clients. And then number 2 would be they're a lover of direct response, because we're going to deploy direct response marketing programs, sales funnels, advertising, any kind of activity that we're going to use to grow their business is going to be some type of direct response where we're looking for the consumer to take some action, either download a free PDF, sign up for a newsletter, buy a product online, those kind of things. So that's the lover. Somebody's got to love direct response. There actually are business owners that don't like direct response, and I don't understand why, because it does work in the online space. But we're looking for those kind of business owners. Number 3 is somebody that loves simplicity. Whoops, we lost our screen, Neil.
Sorry?
Somebody that loves simplicity. And by that, I mean, we're not trying to overcomplicate their business. You've often heard, and many business owners get overwhelmed and stressed out because they're trying to do too many things all at the same time. They might be doing, Neil, we've got something going on here.
But it's not on screen.
It's on my. So, okay, so I'll keep going. So, but I'm not able to see the slides. So
The last one is lover of simplicity there. So
okay, so simplicity means we keep things simple, but we're not looking to, have 3 or 4 different advertising sources, or have you try to learn Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram advertising all at once, and have multiple offers. The simplicity means you have one channel. Maybe you're using Facebook with one offer, and you're doing one kind of advertising. So you keep your life simple, so you're not going crazy. The trick is to master one process first before you move on to something else. Okay,
that's incredibly important. I mean, I've worked with loads of people who are in MBAs, got MBAs and accountants, and if they can complicate it, they will. To start off with something simple and keep it simple is much harder than people think, and it's also much too simple for people, and they want something that's really complicated. And Peter's an absolute lover of simplicity, aren't you, Peter?
Yeah, I can only handle one thing at a time. Well, and I'm guilty of that. In my past businesses, I've tried to do multiple things at one time, and it drives you crazy. And so we're not trying to make it more stressful. We're trying to make your life less stressful. So what's the next slide, Neil?
Right. Well, the next slide is tomorrow, basically. How do you get these people? We've talked about what is the best product to be selling for you as an individual. That's the best payday. We will run through that again on this Friday. And then today we've looked at who are the best people for you. So let's just have a quick run through that. These are ours and not yours. Okay. Is one, they have a successful business already. So we're not dealing with startups. Startups have so many issues with them that are nothing to do with the business, and we can work with that. But if you want, this is specifically the product that we're dealing with at the moment. They have forward momentum, so the people are positive. They're trying to achieve things, and they're already on that road. And as Peter said, they have deployable assets. They've got lists. They've got materials to put out there, and they've got Facebook followings or whatever. But there's something there. So Peter, you love this mindset, abundance mentality. Most important. We're not out there just to sort of beat somebody up. We're if we all do a good job in our space, it will grow more and more.
Well, actually, Neil, and along that same thought is, if you're in a space where you're the only one, that's not a good sign. You want some healthy competition. That tells you the market wants the product or service that you're offering. If you're the only one out there and nobody wants your product, it's just not realistic to be successful, because nobody wants the product. I'd much rather be in a market space where there's some competition, because now there's awareness of the product and the need in the marketplace, and now it's a question of who will the consumer buy from, and so that's a much better place to be.
And it's mutually supportive, because you can somebody's going to buy a Cadillac isn't going to buy a Ferrari or isn't going to buy a Mitsubishi. You are mutually supportive in that people are buying cars and buying that form of transport. If you're a photographer, it's your style of photography. If it's your vitamins, if everybody's buying vitamins, then yours will be the special ones for those special people that like it. You're growing the whole market, and you keep your niche. Sorry, getting too enthusiastic there, Peter. For you.
Okay. So I think I
think we've covered all that. Lover of direct response and lover of simplicity. But there you go. So how do we get those people is what we deal with tomorrow, and that will be with the best bait. Okay. So what is the best? Sorry.
Yeah. What's the best bait? Bait is kind of a nebulous term, but it's basically how do we attract those best buyers. So we use, it's a fishing analogy, bait, but we're going to talk about how do we, catch a best buyer. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to go into it because we'll spoil the surprise for tomorrow.
Is there a surprise? See you all tomorrow. This has been Neil Kilby and Peter Schmitz. Thank you very much.
Thank you.